Just a tough news day because 4 years ago today, a student opened fire at Noblesville West Middle School. He shot classmate Ella Whistler and teacher Jason Seaman before Seaman took down the gunman. Jason Seaman hasn't spoken much about the violence in his classroom, but today he sat down with our Jenny Runovich to reflect on his experience and the shooting in Texas.
In my mind, it's the same story, just different characters. And not a lot is changing.
When 7th grade science teacher Jason Seaman heard about the tragedy in Texas, he felt profound sadness, but he wasn't surprised.
Not really surprising. Unfortunately, it's a here we go again.
The deadly gun violence nearly 4 years to the day after he was shot in his own school. Seaman spent this anniversary in the same Noblesville West classroom where it happened, still doing what he loves.
Same room, same everything. The 25th to me is a day. And I'm not going to let it be something that brings negative emotion.
When one of his 13-year-old students shot Seaman and classmate Ella Whistler in 2018, he disarmed the young gunman and everyone survived. He says the school, thanks to security improvements, is safer than ever.
We had a great outcome, all things considered. So that definitely factors into how much I think about it. If I were in the situation that happened in Texas where lives were lost, it would be a much different anniversary.
And that's why Seaman is concerned. School shootings are still happening with mind-numbing frequency.
It hurts because people are losing loved ones, and then it also hurts that it's going to keep happening because what needs to change is not being addressed. What really frustrates me is that that seems to be the trigger for people to fight and point fingers on various platforms, but then not a lot is changing in a progressive way in our legislation and the people who can actually impact the change.
What should change?
I am a fan of the background checks. I think we need to do that. That's a start. But just overall, how we approach the subject can't be a this or that. There's got to be a compromise, and we need to figure out what works. It's a puzzle, so you have to take the human element, and you have to have the firearm element, and you have to have the mental health element, and that takes people in the know, specialists from each one coming together to make a compromise and not be entrenched in, well, this is what I think, this is what has to happen.